camera battery died. My camera is old. It's an old Sony. It's a good camera. It's just, oh, I think it's like 7 years old, 6 years old. Battery, it's the same original battery. I don't have any replacements. I'm trying to figure out how to lay the washi tape down where it's not really needed, just to maintain the texture of the lines from the tape. And I would say this is not a project I would do very many of, simply because of how intensive it is. But like I said, this is me just trying to figure out how something is made. I'm not saying that this was how, I can't remember the lady's name. And I went on May's page to try to see if I could find it, the video, so I could watch it again, but it's not on there where I can see it. It may just only be on her group page or something where, I mean, I'm on her Facebook group page, so I don't mean that. I just mean, I don't know if she has a different page for patrons that pay and support her. Sometimes different artists have something like that. Okay, now here we have a bit of a hole from this, so I'll make sure I get it positioned right. And I want to put little bits of tape. Where the folds are. And I'm just gently burnish them with my nail. Go in different directions. It doesn't have to all be the same. And I do want to go over this one particular area where that hole is. So I need a thinner piece of tape to see if that will do what I want. I can't just go straight over it. Maybe if I cut a slit, it'll... Yeah, it's not... Not what I had in mind. I don't know if anybody watching has ever made a piñata. Very labor intensive. Lots of fun though. Of course the end product doesn't last long. It is soon destroyed by happy kiddos trying to get to the goodies inside. When my daughter Nicole was in the Head Start program, the parents were able to go to the Head Start main office, and they actually taught us how to make them. And we made them for the kids to have different kind of celebrations, and then I think they also sold some of them to raise money. So that was a lot of fun and a wonderful learning experience. Because you see things in the store, but having never made one, you don't know all the work that goes into making it. And there is a lot that goes into it. And you go to the store and you're thinking, wow, they sure want a lot of money for that. I'm just going to destroy it in a matter of minutes. But then you have to take into consideration all the effort, the time, and the materials to make it. Just trying to basically cover over every seam that I can, just to give this some more durability. And this is going to be the front, obviously, because that's the strongest side. Almost got that. And the back isn't really going to matter that much. Okay, so I think we're ready now to go ahead and do the gesso. I'm going to clear this off and just use this area here. And actually, instead of doing 2 layers, I'm going to do gesso and a color of paint. So, I'm going to choose a dark orange. And then over the top of that, this is ripe tomato. I think I'm going to go with poppy. That poppy. And then I'm going to choose a really bright yellow. And so you can see some of the tape is attempting to come up, and I want to make sure I go over and burnish as much as I can. Catch it before I start applying the paint. That little nub there keeps coming up, but that one doesn't bother me. It's dried on since it's been a while since I used it. Move that out of the way. I have all kind of stuff on my desk from the different projects I've been working on. Okay, so I'm going to lay out some of this. And some glue. I'm sorry, some paint. instead of letting it dry to non-use, I'll go ahead and pick that up and add it in. I don't want that to get stuck on here. This looks peach right now, but I will go back over it. I just wanted to add some color to this first layer. And I want to make sure that I do try to fill in any holes, any gaps in the tape and the papers. Hello everyone, it's the next day and it's dried, and I painted an extra coat of the poppy over the top of it. And now that it's dry, this is that one corner that I had put on. I can't even find the thing now. It's about the way it goes. It'd be right in my face, I can't see it. I had this on here to dry. So it does still have this little hole. But the next step, because I'm going to go ahead and do the next step, this is the back. I can recognize the back because it has more of the washi tape, and the form is not as puffed up, like this is lower than the other points. But this part is the cereal box side. So I know that this is the side that we are going to be doing most of the work on. And so the next step is to add just plain regular school glue and immediately paint on the yellow paint. So I'm going to wash off my brush. And you don't want water on this, you just want glue. You don't want it watered down at all. This brand, the Crazy Glue, is not easy to open and close for me. I wish it was, but it's not. And so I'm just going to pour some out here, and then whatever's left over I'll just go ahead and put it back in. But the first thing is to put a generous layer of the glue all over. I'm trying to find a way to hold it. Every little bit needs to have the glue on it. And my hand is going to be a mess, but that's going to be okay. The next step is to put a generous layer of the paint, and this I'm just going to go ahead and put directly on and then just move it about. That may have been a bit much. We'll lay that down and pick it up as we need it. You can see already like a marbling effect with the glue and the paint mixing. And normally it's not daubed on. Normally this is painted on. But I'm not sure exactly how that person had made hers. And so this is how I'm making mine. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on here and allow it to dry. Okay, so I'm going to leave the camera on so you guys can see the effect that we're getting with the glue and the paint. You can see how awesome that looks, and the glue is, and the paint are both kind of congregating on the edges over here because of the way it's been laying down, so I'm trying to lift it up to kind of help it be a little more evenly distributed. So this is just an update so you can see how far the process has gone with this. It's not all the way dry. There's a bunch of the glue and the paint here and here, and so I'm going to remove the scissors and kind of lift it up in another area to help that to come off by putting it in a different direction to help it level off. Okay friends, it's almost all the way dry. It's still a little bit wet right here in this area, but for the most part the rest of it is dry. I don't know if you can, I can't tell if my camera has a good zoom right now, if it's getting a good picture. I love all the marbling. It didn't actually do the crackle effect, and it's possibly because the shape is not flat. The glue and the paint were able to move around and actually gather at the edges and then seep down. This is what the back of it looks like, where the paint dripped down onto the back side. A little tiny dot of paper on here from a previous project. Actually just took some of that paint off, so I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, so this is the finished project for this one. As far as hanging it up, didn't actually remember to plan that part. But this is what I have for just having a 3D 5-point star. 3D in the front and the back. Now I'm just going to be using this for the front, for the design that's on the front. But if I was going to do the back, after the front is all the way dry, I would repeat the same process here on the back side. So you can let me know what you think. You can give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, subscribe, click on the bell, and even share.